We are live. You're in the right spot for today's webinar, Surviving the Holiday Hustle, Strategies for Peak Season Success. Everyone, my name is Jeffrey, and I am a GoDaddy webinar manager, and I am joined by the amazing Jessica Phillips, not only an amazing content strategist, not only amazing graphic artist, but just an amazing person in general, but also all knowing things of content. And you're probably thinking, okay, like great, but like really knowing how to make sure that you're showcasing your brand and showcasing it in the right way. And I'm gonna let her introduce herself in just a moment. But really just want to share that we're really thankful that you're all here today. One, two, getting ahead of the curve and getting ready for your holiday strategy. And three, just down to learn and get some new knowledge in. I'm going to turn over to Jessica, and then we're going to jump into webinar in just a little bit. But again, welcome everyone. Let us know where you're from, your business name in the chat. And if you already have questions, whether that's pertaining to content or your holiday marketing strategy, go ahead and put that in the chat box. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jessica.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Hi, everyone. Like Jeffrey said, I'm Jessica, and I'm really excited to be here today to talk about the holidays with you guys. As a content strategist here at GoDaddy, I help make data-driven recommendations for the types of content that help small businesses connect with their audiences and grow online. I study consumer behavior and trends in content online to help make the most of your marketing efforts year-round, especially during the holidays. And while we know this season brings a lot of joy, it also brings incredibly busy schedules with lengthy to-do lists. But with the right preparation and resources, you can easily take advantage of all the opportunities this season brings. Our goal here today is to help you connect with your audience, boost those sales, and ultimately end the year on a high note. We'll let Jeffrey catch up for our slides a little bit. Perfect. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so our agenda today is packed with useful insights that will help you get a head start on the what, the why, and the how of holiday marketing. So we'll cover how to lay the foundation of your strategy by understanding your customers and their shopping habits, as well as how to optimize your strategy for your business, because as we know, it's not one size fits all. Then we'll talk about how to jumpstart those buying decisions and ways to create engaging holiday campaigns. And we'll round out our show and tell with a look at post-holiday maintenance and the importance of nurturing your audience well into the new year. We'll end things with an interactive Q&A to answer a few of your questions you may have about your own holiday marketing. And by the end of this session, you'll be set to brave the holiday season all on your own. So let's get started. Awesome. So when we think about our holiday strategy this year, I want you to start with a solid foundation. Your solid foundation in this case is your audience. Let's start by getting to know your audience. Let's start to getting to know your customers a little bit. Things like their demographic or what platform they respond to the best are a great start. But the secret sauce in all of this is understanding them as real people. The holidays are just as busy for them as they are for you. So let's take a look at some key findings to better understand how you could show up for them this season. It's probably not a surprise, but 72% of holiday shoppers prefer to buy online. The big reason? Convenience. Every year, it feels like things are getting busier and busier. We're all juggling family plans, surviving hectic work schedules, and booking holiday travel. In the same study, it showed that convenience, discounts like free delivery, and the ability to price check items were the top 3 reasons to shop online. So what does this mean for us? There are 2 important things to take away here. We want to make it easy for your audience to find you online, and we want to make it easy for them to shop with you online, meeting them where they're at. This looks like having up-to-date links in your page bios or providing a shoppable link on your stories or your social posts to make it that much more convenient. Perfect. Speaking of making it easier and more convenient for folks to find you, Google is no longer the first place folks look during the holidays. 1 out of 4 shoppers plan to use social media to search for holiday products. These numbers are even higher with younger generations like Gen Z. And I want to note that the oldest Gen Z is turning 27 this year. And I only mention that because they have quite a lot of buying power online. So I don't want anybody to count them out just because they are a little bit of a younger generation, because they're not really that young anymore. This means you can and should leverage social media algorithms to help your business get in front of more eyes. So we know shoppers want to buy online, and we know they'll be looking on social media to help inspire their purchases. But a key piece we're missing is the when. When do I plan? When do I post? So when we think about the holiday season, what we often see is the time between Thanksgiving and New Year's Eve, which isn't wrong. But this year, we'll need to make the most of what's already a short holiday season, with only 27 days between Thanksgiving and Christmas, which was a surprise to me earlier this year when I was looking that up. For example, Cyber Monday is in December this year, so everything's really compact. This just means planning early is going to be the key to your success. And just a little tip, because of this shortened time frame, if you're someone who does ship products or has to send services somewhere, make sure that we're A, keeping in mind that shorter shipping window, and then B, keeping your followers and audience and customers updated if there's going to be delays in that. Because we know every year there's always a hiccup in some sort of shipping. So, all right. So just how early is too early then to plan and post? Well, according to Pinterest, to maximize those holiday opportunities, you need to start promoting your holiday ideas and products months before the actual holidays arrive. Consistent, timely marketing throughout the season leads to the best results. So what do we recommend? You need to split your strategy into 3 separate goals here, starting as early as July. And I know we're in September, but I'll walk you through a few of these goals. So laying your foundation for discovery and growing your audience through September is going to help you really build that audience, build that trust with your followers. Then you want to take that and activate those buying decisions. So really push your products, that sort of thing, and take advantage of the early planners from October through November, since most folks wrap up their shopping before December even starts. Finally, nurture your audience and launch a New Year's campaign in the first weeks of Q1, which we will talk about a little bit later in the presentation. If your brand has special connections or offerings for specific holidays, I've also got a chart here where you can see the big holiday moments and the peak ad opportunities for each. For example, we're already well into like a peak Halloween ad season. I'm sure everyone's been seeing Halloween stuff in stores and online. And we're fast approaching that window for Black Friday and Cyber Week, like Cyber Monday and Black Friday. That being said, as holiday shoppers prepare for this celebration-packed season, they'll be actively searching for all sorts of ideas and inspiration to make this best season yet. What we want from this, and starting early, is to take advantage of this moment in time and influence their big and small holiday decisions while they're still in planning mode rather than catching them a little too late. So now that we've chatted a timeline, let's cover a few extra things to consider when laying the foundation for your campaigns this season. Your strategy isn't one size fits all, and we want your brand to shine through authentically online. That's why, sorry, my notes got a little jumbled there. That's what showing up authentically is what's going to help you stand out, is what I'm trying to say. First, we want to keep it casual. Lean into the ways your specific brand can help support the celebrations happening this season. Think about the natural ties between what you offer and how people celebrate. Maybe your products are especially relevant for a topic like gifting or a service that can ease the stress of the season. It should feel like a natural place for your brand to fit in. Second, we want to help people plan multiple moments at once. I know we just talked about a timeline for posting, but our holiday shoppers have overlapping needs throughout the season. They're not, one, then the next. So they might be shopping for a gift exchange while planning Thanksgiving dinner, while picking decor for New Year's Eve all at once. So consider how and where your brand can fit in to show up for them throughout the process. Lastly, let's make gifting a breeze. People come into this season open-minded and undecided about what to buy. Shoppers may not know what they're looking for, but they do know who they're looking for. So try catering your campaigns or assets towards gifting to different audiences like moms or pet parents or fitness lovers, crafting lovers. I know I saw a crafting business in the chat. So again, and all throughout this, showing up early and often through all of your planning is going to be the biggest thing. Okay. So, all right, now that we've discussed the foundation of your campaign, who you're talking to, and when you're talking to them, let's talk about what and how to post to make your content stand out amongst the holiday hustle and bustle this year. This time of the year, there's so much happening online. When you add that attention spans are getting a little bit shorter every year, I feel, cutting through the noise can make a big difference on holiday sales. To boost visibility for your brand, it's important to understand what platforms are prioritizing on their feeds and how to work those things into your holiday campaigns. Algorithms are changing all the time, but here are a few things we've seen this year that we're sure can help. The first are high quality photos. We know that during the holidays, high quality photos are key. They help showcase your products and services, and clearly set expectations for potential customers so they know exactly what they're getting when they buy online. It's kind of hard to set those expectations if you're not physically with something. So these clear product photos will help. Pairing them with formats like carousels on Instagram, so those formats where there's multiple photos in one post, is an easy way to boost engagement. Like in those cases, you have more photos per post, which equal more opportunities for likes, comments, and shares. Our second tip for cutting through the noise is to use video content. I'm sure everybody saw this coming. So if you're not using video, this is a great time to start. We know that many platforms like Instagram have updated algorithms to prioritize video content on their feeds. And we also know that 91%, which is a huge number, of marketers have seen a boost in traffic to their site when using video. So as a small business owner, incorporating video content into your holiday marketing strategy can be a powerful way to keep your audience engaged. A great use of videos during the holidays is, I have a couple ideas, but to show a peek behind the curtain with behind the scenes content. So showing your followers what you do in a day, how you pack orders, or even highlight employees if you have them. It might seem daunting, but successful video content can be created using just a smartphone and simple editing tools. And some of those can even be found on the platforms themselves. The key is to focus on delivering valuable content that speaks to your audience, reflects your brand, and provides an authentic experience for followers. Basically, people just want to know the human behind the brand. That's what makes a big impact. And finally, when it comes to engagement, sharing is caring. So most platforms are prioritizing content that encourages sharing on and off the app, sending things in DMs, sending a text to somebody, hey, look at this video, look at this post I saw. When planning your content, sprinkle in a few posts that ask for interaction with your audience or entertain viewers or follow a popular trend online. I want to touch a little bit on how to keep your content fresh. So as we know, we're about to enter a season where we're seeing ad after ad, and we're seeing quite a lot of stuff about buy product, buy this. So building a well-rounded strategy is really important. It'll help combat that overconsumption feeling of the holidays. So we want to be sure to balance your specials and promotions with other content that inspires, entertains, or educates. That being said, we do know that specials and promotions are the seasonal bread and butter. So consider mixing strategies like promo codes, buy one, get one offers, product and service bundles, giveaways, even connecting with a local charity. For example, free shipping is a top 3 reason why consumers choose to make a purchase from a particular retailer or brand. And with many shoppers focused on cost this year, rather than shipping times and return policies, like we've seen in the past, discounted and free shipping is an easy win. In fact, over half of shoppers say that they're more likely to purchase online than in-store if delivery is free. Once you have your ideas and your timeline and your schedule and your plan, it's time to create holiday-themed, scroll-stopping visuals for your campaigns. This task can be a little bit daunting, but luckily I have a few tips and tricks up my sleeve to help you unwrap holiday success this year. So we're going to start by developing a theme for your holiday campaign that can be sprinkled across all your visuals to create cohesive and recognizable content. We want folks to be able to spot your brand immediately and anywhere. Decide between using brand colors or a holiday-themed color palette. On one hand, using brand colors can help reinforce brand recognition, but holiday colors are fun and can evoke a festive feeling to show your customers that you're in the holiday spirit. To help with consistency, use similar design elements across your content like fonts or graphics. And the goal is to make it clear that your holiday content connects. This includes things like your website banners and even images. You're good, Jeffrey. We can go to the next one. Yeah. If you're short on inspiration or need a helping hand, GoDaddy Studio has thousands of holiday templates and graphics to help you get started. And now I am a little biased. I do actually work really closely with this team. I'm on this team. I help curate a lot of these graphics and templates that come into this app. So a little bit biased, but it's really great and really easy if you're a little intimidated by making a graphic for your sale or promotion, that kind of thing. And so all the graphics you've seen in this webinar today are from GoDaddy Studio, and you can find them via web or mobile device. Just a little plug. All right, next one, Jeffrey. Perfect. Okay, and lastly, for our tips, don't forget your captions. So captions provide context, add personality, and enhance the impact of visuals, making sure your message is clear even if customers only skim through the content. Create captions that really show your brand voice, that sound like you. They help sell your product just as much as the visual. And it's important to have a little fun. If it fits your brand, the holidays are a great time to get creative and have fun with your words. Okay, so up to this point, we've talked about getting to know your customers, when to plan your holiday campaign, and even some tips around how and what to post. I want to take a minute now before we move into our Q&A to talk about post-holiday maintenance and the importance of nurturing your audience well into the new year. What is Q5 and why is it important? So in holiday marketing, Q5 refers to the period after Q4, obviously. That spans the first few weeks of the new year. So usually between January and like mid-February, I'd say. It's kind of considered a fifth quarter in retail, even though it's not an official business quarter in business terms. But it's really important because it's a great opportunity for brands to maintain that momentum that we're building through the major holiday shopping season. During this time, people are often still in a spending mindset. So particularly with New Year's resolutions, Christmas returns, winter sales still in full swing. So people, while, have spent a lot of money or may have spent a lot of money for the holidays, they still have a little ways to go after the big event is done. What we don't want to do is spend all this time building and nurturing an audience, gaining new followers through the holiday season, only to lose them once the decorations come down. Nurturing those new followers and new customers is one way to set yourself up for success through the rest of the year. Some ways you can do this include offering post-holidays deals and promotions. So things like clearance sales, they're a great way to move that leftover inventory. Gift card promotions, they're perfect for those who receive gift cards during the holidays. Focus on email marketing. So the next couple of months in that timeline we talk about when we're laying our foundation, ask people to sign up for your email list. That way you can follow up with them after the holidays. It's a cost-effective way to personalize and nurture your audience. And then also you can send a well-crafted thank you series or post-holiday promotion through email to re-engage that audience. And then a personalized follow-up. So everyone loves a personalized thank you. You can send those through emails to your holiday shoppers with a special offer for their next purchase or using insights from Q4. So if you have that, or if your website collects data, that sort of thing. Or you can even use insights from your social platforms to send targeted promotions based on customers' previous purchases, preferences, or browsing behavior. Awesome. Okay. All right, folks. So I have yapped a lot of talking is going on. Okay. So let's go ahead and recap the recommendations that we covered for a successful holiday season. We want to start by building your foundation by planning to post earlier than you think and lean into the ways your specific brand can help amplify and support your customers' celebrations this holiday season. Next, we want to create content that converts and drives sales through consistency and eye-catching designs. And finally, we want to nurture that audience in Q5 by maintaining connections through email, post-holiday sales or specials, and or a personalized thank you. By focusing on these key areas, I have full faith you'll be able to effectively engage your target audience, drive your sales, and have the best season yet. And that's all I have.
Jessica, you did amazing. Really did. And thank you all for being here in the webinar room today. We're going to go ahead and jump into some Q&A. Lisa, thank you for jumping in there. We have a couple of questions in here. One question is, whenever you are getting ready for your holiday season, what is one thing that you've seen works for businesses, and what is one thing that you think businesses should not do?
I think the idea of that planning ahead, you don't want to go too early. You want to time it really, like have a sweet spot with when you're going to start pushing those like holiday products. There's like a holiday fatigue. So just being really mindful of that, because I think the winning side of that is, engaging with what's going on online, engaging with the type of content. So if people are talking about Halloween, don't try to sneak in a Black Friday sale if, people aren't quite there yet. You can have all of that prepared, have all that planned, but don't pull the trigger too close, too close to the event and also too far out. So there's that timeline that we talked about earlier is really key there. And then, not having a well-balanced strategy. So we see often a lot of folks, especially if you're really focused on trying to sell and push products, folks might just focus on those like promotions or sell. But we want to do is that, no one wants to buy from someone they don't trust or they don't know the brand. So you want to build that as you go along. I think that's kind of the two sides. Is like, you don't want to jump the gun and you don't want to wait too late, but then also you don't want to just, talk about your products the whole time. We want to talk about you, your staff, the services you offer, the value you provide, because that way people will be able to know you. Yeah.
Another question, and sorry, you talked about Q5. When is the best time to start planning for Q5, and any tips other than what you said in the webinar to make us have a successful 2025?
Yeah, I think Q5 is a little more flexible, right? Because it really depends and can be catered to what you need to do to set up your goals for 2025. So if you see a really successful holiday season and you have like sold out of all of your small batch inventory, or you have gained a ton of followers, like depending on the success, you can then change what your strategy is for the new year. Q5 is a really great way to kind of jumpstart the goals for the new year. So let's say you want to do a rebrand. Okay, so then you're going to start updating all of your followers in Q5 with your new branded assets, your new posts that show your new brand. Or if you want to gain followers, it's a great time to boost awareness for your brand. So we're reaching out to people, we're having them sign up for your email list. If you didn't see that in Q4, you can then start pushing that in Q1 or that Q5 to then roll you into the spring, where you can then do spring sales and product promotions and really start amping up the sales as the year goes.
Is Q5 another time where we could also gain more customers or plan content to get more customers?
For sure. I think so. When you look at your strategy, the holiday hustle, this like crunch time, it's going to slow down. Like if you stop and plan, you can kind of stretch it out, right? But then when you get to Q1, it's going to feel like a fresh beginning, like a new start. And then what's really important is then taking that data, taking any of your insight, and that could even mean just looking at your sales and say like, where did I sell stuff? What sold the best? And then using those insights to then reach new people. Or let's say you use January to come up with new products or new ideas for services. And then you can then start over and say, okay, in 2025, I want to try to reach a different type of audience. So here's the plan for that. And here's how I'm going to try to do that based on what we're doing in 2024.
I love that. And I also love how you're not like aggressively planning. You're doing this in like chunks of time, and you're also like saving yourself some time even in the new year as well, because you're looking at that Q5 time, just like you said.
Yeah. Having a timeline is great as far as like throughout the year, but it should have a little wiggle room.
And this is coming from me because you just brought this up, what would that timeline look like?
So my favorite thing to do is look at seasonality, right? And within the beginning of the year, it's a fresh start. You're going to set your goals for the year. So let's say by the end of the year, you want to gain X amount of followers, or you want to sell X amount of products, or you want to build an email list up until X amount. So set those numbers and those goals. Well, they should be flexible. Life happens, things go up and down, trends come and go. But being able to kind of have those goals in mind will help you kind of reverse engineer your strategy. So if you're looking to build followers, right, you don't have a lot big following online, and that's one of your main goals, brand awareness, right? So in January, you're going to start by having a lot of content that showcases you as the human behind your brand and business. That's highlighting your employees. That's interacting with audience. So ask questions online. Maybe I know they're scary. Have a live Q&A on Instagram. If I can do it, everybody can do it, I promise. But you want to show your face. You want to get people to trust you and build that faith with your audience. And then over time, sprinkle in those products and services, sprinkle in the value. I think that's key too here is you don't just want to showcase a product and not explain like why or how it's going to help somebody, because what converts is understanding that value. So same thing with the holiday planning. When someone's like, oh, I have company coming in town, I have to plan a Thanksgiving dinner, and I'm going to have 12 people at my house. Not only maybe they are looking for a new table setting, maybe they're looking for a gift for somebody, maybe they're looking for someone to help them clean their home or rent a car, those sorts of things. So all of those little moments, like really thinking of both your brand as like humanize your brand and then also humanize your audience. So really put yourself in their shoes. So taking those things, those same principles and putting them into Q1 through the spring. This is long-winded. I can talk about this stuff all day, as you know. But yeah, so then once you're in the spring, you can then start activating. So we're thinking people might be traveling for spring break. We have kids who are, fully back in school, but maybe gearing up to be out of school closer to May, June. Then you're in the summer and people are on vacation. So how can you meet those needs? So I wouldn't say that the timeline, and then I was going to say, then once you get into July, you're prepping for holidays already. So the front half of the year is really building towards the end of your goals, but that can look different depending on the goal, the business, your audience, all of that.
I love that. Okay. 2 more questions as of right now. Stephanie says, I do crochet. God, if I can talk. Sorry.
A fellow crocheter.
Oh,
I love it.
I crocheted mainly fairs and festivals, so not much online sales. But what about fairs, doing in-person business and not just online?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. As someone who also crochets and from time to time also likes to sell at small events, I can say that while you might not be selling online, having an online presence is still big, especially it does depend on your audience. So I have a friend who does something similar and she does highlight a lot of her products online. And then people will say like, she'll drop whenever she's going to a craft market or a Christmas fair, something like that. She'll put that online to make sure people know where to find her. 1, 2, make sure that everything's really cohesive. So if you have a brand online and people might be Googling you, make it easy for them to find you. So then when they do see you in person, they recognize your brand. And I know maybe if you're a one-person brand and you're like, it's just me, it's not that big of a deal, I don't really know, but it does really help to kind of have something well designed like a logo or something that you can put out even physically, physical branding materials that kind of help that recognition. A little like side tidbit that has really worked for me and other people in the past is to make sure that your table is really inviting. If you have a booth or something that you're selling at, make sure it's really inviting and take content, pictures, videos while you're there or have someone else do it for you. Then you can reuse that content afterwards and showcase, hey, we were at this event. Look at the stuff we sold. Look at the people buying the stuff, building that social proof that people can trust you and should shop with you again. And also it's a great time at those booths, like in person, to say, hey, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram. Also, if you want an email about where I'll be next, sign up for this email list. Like those are all things you can still do in person as well. And sometimes it works better because they see you and they know you. They know that you're not a stranger.
Very true. And I love all of that. And also connection and a business owner to a business owner. So some great advice right there.
Yeah, I love it. I love to crochet. That's so fun. I get to geek out about marketing and crochet. I'll see myself out. Yeah. Bye, everybody. No.
Yeah, I was like, wait, we have one more question.
Yeah.
Lisa asked, while I'm pretty fluent with using Facebook, I am new to Instagram and would love to start using it, especially for holiday promos. Is there any site link you recommend as a good intro basics for using Instagram?
I think one, we have a lot of great resources. On GoDaddy. I'm going to plug some of the blogs that we have. Definitely look some stuff up there. We have quite a few different resources for folks getting started with social. Two, one of my top tips is to look at what other people in your industry are doing on social media. So go to their pages. And it doesn't have to be someone who's near you. It can be just go on Instagram and kind of look up, let's say, I don't know exactly what type of business you have, but if you look up the different types of business, you can even Google like those types of businesses and then find their Instagrams on their websites. But then look at what type of content is working and what's not working. Because it's going to change depending on your audience and depending on your business type. And you can cross post. So if you love Facebook and what you're doing on Facebook is really working, take that content and put it on Instagram. You can use those photos, those carousels, like I talked about earlier with multiple photos, try out some video content, that sort of thing. But yeah, looking at what other businesses is a great way to kind of get started and get your feet wet with like, okay, so they have a product highlight, they're highlighting a service or product. Then they have a post that's asking a question. Then they have a post about behind the scenes, like what are they doing? They're packing orders, that sort of thing. So taking that framework and then making your own and adding your brand voice and your brand behind it is what's going to help you get started, I think. But yeah, sorry, that was a long-winded explanation, but definitely what's working on Facebook could definitely work on Instagram. And then the biggest thing here for me too is always be iterating your strategy. So let's say you get started on Instagram and you start seeing followers rack up, right? We hit 50 followers, we hit 100 followers, we hit 200 followers. Well, then take a look at that and see what's performing with your audience and then change the content as you go there. Because new followers may like different types of content.
I love that. And you're not wrong. Like, especially me with my role, like posting on social, it is one of those things of where you want to post different things and you have to tweak it to the different audiences. You don't want to really use the same language, the same captions, even if you're using hashtags. Like each platform is like talking to, I would like to say, a different friend group that you might have.
Oh, great. That's such a good way to put it.
And not that like you should show up any different for your friends, but like things they like and dislike. So you kind of have to know like their icks and their oohs. So that's really important to know about your audience. And when you're on social media is, like Jessica was saying, knowing the platform and knowing like if you're posting something for a sale here, you might want to put like some extra things in the caption on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to put a link that's clickable on Facebook that would direct them to your website or an order page or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say this, and we have one more question, is tell your customers what to do. And I know that sounds kind of wild, but if I click on an email and it doesn't really give me like a CTA or anything to do, I'm not going to really like know what to do. So I'm going to click out of it. I'm like, well, that was a waste of my time. But if it's like sale, and I don't even know what this sale could be about, it's just a sale.
Save money. Okay.
Sure. Sale, like a graphic gets me. I have bought cookbooks just based on the cover, which do not do, but I do, but don't do.
I am guilty of that as well.
Yes. So like definitely make sure that you're like looking at your audience, you're looking at your platforms.
Definitely.
But Stephanie did have a question. I'm doing 2 huge fairs in November, never done it before, so I'm going into it blindly.
Okay.
With expecting thousands of customers, so don't know what to expect, except to look business professional and have good looking displays. Any other advice?
I think so last year. Oh, yes, Jeffrey?
I am sorry. Okay. So one thing that I have learned and I have recommended to do is if you can take a screenshot, if you can print it out. And if you do have your socials, especially like on Instagram, you can always go to your profile. And if you're wanting more followers, like Jessica was saying, sorry also to interrupt as well. I apologize.
No, go for it.
is when you go to share your profile, it comes up as a QR code. So most people have like a camera on their phone and they can easily go scan it and it'll direct them right to your profile, an instant follow right there. So
Mhm.
I know that kind of sounds old fashioned, but I cannot tell you how many times. And now that we're so programmed to scan QR codes, I think it's like a very good solution as well if you're wanting more followers. That way you
Mhm.
can always whip out your phone, like that. It can easily scan, follow you, another follower right there. But yes.
Yeah. And with that, as someone who also frequents like craft fairs and craft markets and those sorts of things, I sometimes will browse and be like, okay, I want to see I want to see everything that's here. And so I'm the person that always takes a business card because I will look you up on Instagram and like DM you if I actually really want a product later. I don't, maybe not everyone, but even if let's say you have 10 people walk by and two of them do that, that's still a great, like that's still a sale. So if you have any printed materials like small business cards that you can set up, that's a great way to make sure that someone's walking away with a reminder of your brand. That's a great starting point. And then again, yeah, I think like letting the people know who you know in person know that you're going to be there. So be like, hey, I'm going to be at this fair. Tell everybody you know. Like word of mouth is huge. So if you're looking for a Christmas gift, if you're looking for some sort of holiday treat for somebody, telling the people you know those things, and then they can tell their friends. So like word of mouth with like the craft community and like fairs and markets like that is actually huge. So definitely do that. And then, like I said, make sure you're posting leading up to it to make sure that people know that you're going to be there. And also good luck. It's so fun. And people are way nicer than you think. Like I was really nervous when I first started doing them. But you just have to be friendly and fun and nice, which I'm sure you are. So like it really will shine through. And yeah, and I think it's especially this time of year and like around the holidays, people are just excited to kind of see what there is and talk. And so I'm, maybe suggest and offer ways that they can use your products that you're offering. So if you do crochet and you're offering maybe blankets or scarves or hats or garlands, that sort of thing, say like, oh, this would make a great stocking stuffer. This makes a great ornament exchange item. Or, oh, do you have a Secret Santa coming up? This is really great. Or this is so great for a baby, a new parent for their baby or something like that. So always keep your audience in mind. Always keep in mind how how you can provide value for folks and connect it back to the holiday season.
I love that so much. And I want to say thank you to everyone that's attended the webinar today. We really, truly do appreciate y'all, all the great questions. I want to give a huge thanks to Jessica for not only volunteering her time, but also engaging, coming up with this great content to show y'all as well. And not only that, but just making sure that y'all walked away with some tangible things that you can actually put in place as well. And before I go, I know one more.
One more.
One more? What are the best strategies what are the best strategies for selling print on demand products with stock mock-ups without having to buy the item?
Right. So when it comes to digital products, I think creating your own mock-ups with online, so tools like GoDaddy Studio, and other tools that have those types of templates already built in. Sometimes you can find them for free online, and you can just superimpose your image, remove a background from one, and put it into a mock-up like a T-shirt, or if you do have a digital item like an ebook or something, you can then showcase that in a graphic. I think those visual ways, again, you want to provide clarity and set expectations really clearly about what the customer is going to get. So I think something like that is a great place to start. I hope that helps. I know it's kind of digital products are a little bit different than in-person services and products, but kind of the same principles apply. So you want to build trust with that audience and make sure you're setting the right expectations.
I love it. And make sure. Yes. Thank you. Thank you all for attending. And a huge thank you to Jessica. Everyone give her a round of applause. Like I'm screaming, I'm clapping right now. But no, thank you so much, Jessica, for volunteering. I asked her. I was like, "What?" But taking time out of your busy schedule to one, do this. Two, speaking to everyone and giving like real practical advice. And three, just being awesome and just being an amazing person and knowing all about content. Like she's amazing. Like I said,
Stop, I'm gonna blush. No. Thank you for inviting me and having me here today. Thanks everybody for your wonderful questions. I really hope you all have a great holiday season and like just take the stuff that we talked about today and have the best season yet, for sure.
yes, thank you all so much and have a great Tuesday. I almost said Wednesday. Have a great Tuesday, and we will see you all here next time. Same place, different topic.
There you go.
Thanks, everyone.